What is Group Hug? A way to reward your friends for sitting down at the table? A guarantee to see everything an opponent's deck can do? A political masterclass as you convince everyone to take your gifts and whittle each other down before you sneak the last hit into their back? Sounds boring. No one trusts a Group Hug player, so let's not even let them. Let's throw every heinous, disgusting, chaotic, insane, punch everyone in the dick bullshit card we can at our opponents. What is Group Slug? The most fun you can have while playing Rakdos. The aim of the deck is to whittle down everyone's life options and hope while staving off direct attacks with various goat effects and a few stupid board wipes and a few reorders. It's not super strong, it's not super consistent, and you'll probably be the target of a few, well, I should attack someone, so I might as well hit you before your bullshit starts. Attacks, but oh man, when this deck goes off, it will almost convince you to don some Judas-style bondage gear and join the cult. Because you're going to be making everyone miserable at the table, the commander of this deck, Car Door Doomscourge, gives two very useful survival abilities. First, it's goad without the keyword goad to force others to attack and stay away from your beautiful face. The second is whenever an attacking creature dies, each opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. Every life point will matter once Kardo's first ability disappears and you drop something to make everybody hate you. So, let's talk reasons to hate. Most of the win con for this deck is dealing damage to opponents for just playing the game. Zozu the Punisher and Mana Barbs punish players for the heinous crime of trying to use lands in a game of Commander. Harsh Mentor will hit you for daring to use an activated ability, Kardur will hit you if you dare cast any spell, and don't you dare think of searching your library while Obnixilis is unshackled. Sulfuric Vortex and Havoc Festival punish you for still being in the game at your upkeep, while also stopping any life gain shenanigans. Descent into Avernus gets a little close to Group Hug by giving everyone treasures, but then also smacks them in the face to remind them who daddy is, while Jinx Choker bounces around the board and can honestly end out gains if it isn't dealt with. Brash Taunter and Tree of Perdition provide some much needed bodies to block with, while also being amazing political and damage tools. Cut Ribbons is a nice early creature removal spell and an endgame win con if you've got the mana to sink into it, while Fraying Omnipotence gets rid of creatures and combos with Rune Reflection in the same way that Havoc Festival does to one-hit anyone if they don't have removal. And of course, Rune Reflection just works with everything else in this list so nicely. It's my favourite card in this deck, but I am biased because of the Missy Master backstab art. Kardur is great, but without a way to bounce him easily, his goad effect can't protect you forever. So we've added an Agitator Aunt to speed up people's damage and get a little bit of goad going. Karazakar for goad and to encourage attacks at other players, Revenge of Ravens to really encourage attacks at anyone but you, and then Grand Melee to turn everything sideways and to make everything block so that people can't just sit back. Math is in fact for blockers, and now you have to take Calc 101 every turn, especially if I've also got Carnage Gladiator on the field and you're going to be taking the damage anyway. This is the only real spot I have to talk about Karith Knight because it's a sort of weakening, but it will also stop anyone running any kind of counter strategy, which is very useful because this deck can't really go wide. So you gotta run a few board wipes as well. Honestly, you could run a few more. There's room for a Blasphemous Act or a Toxic Deluge in here. I just personally love the chaotic ones. That's right, I'm running Boompile and Rakdos the Showstopper, and Rakdos runs as a fairly decent secondary commander in this deck too. Archfiend of Depravity can keep a board in check, and Deathbringer Regent is one of my all-time favourite one-sided board wipes. Last One Standing is a whole lot of fun, but if I can find a copy of it, I'll probably end up swapping it out for a Nipton Lottery. That Oliver guy. Oliver something? You shoot him in the face every time you play. Card advantage is hard to come by in Rakdos, but Humble Defector is a great way to make friends and to draw cards, but we can't all be friends forever. If we can't draw cards, let's just make sure nobody else ever has any. Sire of Insanity means you'll play it or you'll lose it. Haunt of the Hightower can quickly become a big threat, keep you alive, and force some discard. And then Bottomless Pit is the perfect little Chaos Goblin that keeps people in check. I also try to throw in a Planeswalker in each deck that I build, and Obnixilis the Adversary means we can have 2 for the price of 1. Double the discard, double the life gain, and he can make a few fun little demon blockers as well. But let's be real for a second. If you're watching this video, Chaos is probably the reason you're here. There is a lot of salty, wonderful Chaos cards in Magic, but these are the ones that I've whittled down to what works best and what I personally enjoy the most. Chaos Swap and Wild Magic Surge are some great spot removal cards, and in my opinion, Chaos is an upside. Share the Spoils is the closest thing this deck actually has to Group Hug, and it leads to a lot of fun situations, but it can be a problem if people have similar card sleeves. Atali is here because Atali. Stark of Wrath is great fun to see going around as he blaps permanent, and Pixis of Pandemonium is not only fun to say, but can lead to a whole lot of fun if it ever pops. Wildfire Devils has only ever been great value for me, always hitting something fun or improving my board because ramp is non-existent in Rakdos, but the real fun is in Possibility Storm, Confusion in the Ranks, and Grip of Chaos. You want to play that? No, it's something else now. Spell, ability, creature, it does not matter, something else is going to happen, so choose how you play wisely. Omen Machine will not only shut down those that are looking to draw a lot of cards and cast a lot of spells, it can be quite fun when a lot of spells are coming out at the wrong time. Speaking of the wrong time, there isn't really a right time to cast Thieves Auction, Scrambleverse, or Warp World, but it is a whole lot of fun to play them out. Fun in quotation marks for your LGS's Commander Night. I would not actually recommend playing it, but at the kitchen table, it is definitely worth it to crack it out and see how the chaos goes. I did actually cast it at an LGS once to steal a Jinkataxius Progress Tyrant, so I could finally board wipe and then get through because stacks players. And finally, Over the Top will lead to some kind of confusing board states and ETB triggers, but it will help mill people out with too many permanents on the field. Throw in a Theatre of Horrors, a Captive Audience, and a Bolas' Citadel for generic Rakdos value, a few mana rocks, and the best land package you can afford, and you're good to go. One day, I will afford another Urborg Cabal Coffers combo for this deck, but for now it lives in my mono Black Golem deck that I'm hoping to do a video on in the future if people are keen. So that's my Car Door Group Slug deck. It's not the best, it's not the most chaotic, but it's mine and I love it. It's taken a long time to get to this point, and to be honest, I'm going to be tinkering with this deck forever. So don't be surprised if the Moxfield list ends up looking a little different if you're watching this in the future. The link to the Moxfield page is down below. If you've got any recommendations, I would love to hear them, but in the meantime, you can check out any of the gameplay streams where we've played with this deck, or any of our other deck tech videos. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Tom from Nerds of the West, and I'll catch you next time.